We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for your patience and for being here today. Thank you. My name is Elizabeth Murakawa. I am the Public Programs Associate here at JANM, and on behalf of JANM, I wanted to welcome all of you, everybody in person and also everybody online watching us virtually, to the 13th Annual Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Contest celebration. This contest is, thank you, it's very exciting. This contest is presented by the Little Tokyo Historical Society in partnership with Discover Nikkei, which is a project of JANM. So thank you so much for everybody who had a hand in putting this together. It's definitely a big labor of love. A lot of effort went into planning all this, and I hope you guys see it and it reflects well in the program. We have just a bunch of treats in store for you all today. So before I hand the mic over and get the program officially started, I'm just going to go over a couple of logistical notes. The emergency exits are illuminated and may not be the ones you entered with, so just note that. Restrooms are available on the second floor and are accessible via the stairs or elevator. Do not eat or drink inside the forum. And also this program is being recorded for future reference. If you are interested in reading any of the works published today, they will be available on discovernikkei.org shortly after the program. And just wanted to also know that past winners' works are also uploaded onto Discover Nikkei, so there's a lot of good stuff to read online. So this year's winners will be up in the next few weeks, so keep an eye open for that. So thank you for reading all those notes. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to the Imagine Little Tokyo co-chairs, Naomi Hirahara and Mia Iwataki.
Hi. Hello. And Naomi goes first. No, you go first. No,
Oh my God. Of course, in all this craziness, I didn't really read the run of show that carefully, and we're trying to get all these details. But I just want to welcome you to the 13th Annual Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Contest. And Imagine Little Tokyo, that concept was actually birthed by Bill Watanabe, who's, yay, so yay, Bill. And if you don't know who I am, I'm a novelist. I used to work for the Rafushimpo newspaper. So story for me is at my core. And to tell stories in the setting of this place that we love, Little Tokyo, is just a wonderful intersection of two things that I love. And I'm imagining that many of you here love as well. So thank you so much for coming and enjoying. And if you'd like to see this program all over again, it'll eventually be on the YouTube channel of Discover Nikkei. So thank you for coming.
See, Naomi could do this without paper. I just wanted to say that the one thing I love about Imagine Little Tokyo is that actors come and they breathe life into the stories. Satsuko Yamashita, who was our winner last year, says, "Every writer dreams of having their words come to life. For me, that dream came true when Ji Young-yu performed a reading of my short story, Fall 7 Times. And by the way, Ji Young-yu is one of the main voices, Zoe, in K-pop Demon Hunters. And it was a month after it came out on Netflix and then went viral. And so you guys were the first to see her. So Little Tokyo Historical Society is also celebrating our 20th anniversary. So make sure you have those little raffle tickets because we have some really fun prizes for you and a Little Tokyo grand prize at the end. We have also a special 20th anniversary t-shirt that just came in this morning. And David Nagano, are you down here someplace? Oh, so that's what it looks like on a guy. Woohoo! Okay, how's that for marketing? Okay, and let's see. And we also, for our 20th anniversary, we have a special cold somen soba bar with dashi and all the toppings from Dan Tahara. So after the program, please join us in the Democracy Center, where you can meet and mingle with the writers, authors, and the actors. Let's see, our goal is to inspire, like Naomi said, more people to write and to love Little Tokyo. Our special 20th anniversary gift to you today are two very well-known and popular actors and faces in our community, and we're so lucky to have them both as co-MCs for this special occasion. And they didn't know ahead of time, but I'm asking them to introduce each other. So I'm going to just fangirl here. And ladies and gentlemen and brothers and sisters, Tamlyn, Tomita, and Christopher Sean! Give it up!
Thank you, Mia Iwataki, goddess and miracle worker here, not only here in Little Tokyo, but in the great city of Los Angeles. And thank you so very much, Naomi Hirahara, for being one of the original storytellers of Little Tokyo, bringing Little Tokyo in focus, to light, and in heart and in mind and in soul, so that people from not only Los Angeles knows about Little Tokyo, but this great country of ours, as well as around the world. So thank you so very much to Naomi Hirahara and Mia Iwataki. And to Uncle Bill Watanabe for being the spearhead of creating this Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Awards event. It is my pleasure to be up here with my son, Christopher Sean.
The best mom.
No, not the best mom, but a hard mom. It's like, come on, son. But and then I get to do two personalities, right? I get to be the mom, the sweet mom, and then the robot mom. Do this, do that. So it's been a real pleasure to have you here with me, Christopher.
Thank you. Nobody does it better than Tamlyn, so I'm honored to share the stage. Can we give her a round of applause, please?
No. And to Christopher.
I'm excited to get started. Thank you all for being here. You guys look beautiful, strong, gorgeous, great community. I love it.
Oh. So do you want to tell people, just in case, or do we really need to do this?
Yes. I'm doing an intro, not just for these amazing people, but I'm doing it for the world.
Okay, do it for the world. Oh, hi. Hello, world. Isn't my son beautiful?
No, it's God. So most people know Tamlyn Tomita for starring in The Karate Kid Part 2, The Joy Luck Club, The Good Doctor, Allegra Aoki, Star Trek Picard, Commodoro, and The Man in the High Castle, Tamiko Watanabe. She has tons of other credits, such as the 2020 narration with Daniel Day Kim of the 5-part PBS series Asian Americans, produced by the Center of Asian American Media and WETA, and countless television and stage roles. But we all know her as one of our own. A strong presence in the JA and AAPI communities, supporting our organizations and expanding our voice, such as chair for Kappa 21, AAPI political action community, to ensure that voices of Asian Americans are heard in the most consequential political races of our country. Last year, Tamlyn and her husband, Daniel Blinkoff, he's gorgeous, he's amazing, I love him, opened Outside In Theater, which please join, come, check it out, it's wonderful. A community theater that will present written and unscripted performances, as well as films, digital format works, and so many others. Outside In Theater is building the world we want to see by producing daring, dynamic, and authentic untold stories by unheard voices.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you. I see so many people in this room, and it's like, oh my God, I'm fangirling all over again. But I just want to get this introduction of the wonderful actor, director, creator, writer, father, and all-around wonderful partner in life, Christopher Sean. He seems to be everywhere, because I do see him everywhere, in television, in animation, in gaming, and publishing. He's what we call a working actor. The lead voice of Kenji Sato in Ultraman! Swatch! And Netflix's Ultraman Rising that won 3 Emmys, including Outstanding Animated Special, and has earned 4 Annie Award nominations and reached number 2 on Netflix globally. And before that, he made history as the first Asian American lead of the Star Wars franchise, originating Kazuda Shiono in the Saturn Award-winning Emmy-nominated Star Wars Resistance. His television work includes 350-plus episodes as Paul Narita on NBC's Days of Our Lives, a Gold Derby Award-winning performance, and a recurring role as lead antagonist on CBS's on Hawaii Five-0. And Christopher has also made his mark on the performance capture world. That is when you put all these plugs on your face and your body and you move, and then the computers and the cameras all take recordings of your body and your facial expressions, and this what you call performance capture work, appearing in DC's Nightwing in Gotham Knights. So watch out for that game and watch out for all the other games. And Christopher actually told me about some other projects that he has his fingers in. So keep your eyes out for Christopher Sean. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my son. Now, both of us, as Mia and Naomi had said, it is because we have a double celebration. It is the Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Awards, and Little Tokyo Historical Society is celebrating their 20th anniversary. In fact, LTHS's first meeting was in the month of July 20 years ago. And 20 years ago means we're all Asian American here. We can all do the math, right? 26 equals 20 years minus equals 2006. So they are a Gen Z organization, right?
Yes.
What does Gen Z mean, really, right?
It just means young.
It just means young?
Young but old, you know? It means experienced. But you know what? Most of the people that are working, most of the members, they don't look like Gen Z. They look amazing, fresh.
I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer. What are you?
I'm getting there. I'm getting louder when I lay down and I get up. You can hear me. I'm at that age. But 20 years is pretty good for any organization that's never had paid staff.
That's right.
It's all volunteer power.
Staff. All volunteer power.
Yeah, Mia says that LTHS is the literal poster child for not-for-profit. And that's why they had that big donation bowl at their table. Head on over there and, give with your heart.
Yes. Give with your heart, please. And thank you so very much for consistently operating on a volunteer basis, because it's truly meaningful for all of us to be here with you and just to say, what do you need? What can we do for you? And it's every one of us who help LTHC as well as the Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Contest. It is pretty incredible with these volunteers who are committed to preserving, protecting, and uplifting Little Tokyo that we can do this work. They have done the research and prodded this city, Los Angeles, the greatest city in the nation, for historical markers, plaques, and monuments to educate, uplift, and support Little Tokyo's deep and expansive history. Not expensive history, expansive history. Because, again, it takes money, it takes commitment, it takes dedication. And for example, in 1886, Kame Cafe was the first Little Tokyo business on 340 East 1st Street, where Bunkado lives today. And yes, there is a plaque and there is a historical marker. They have markers commemorating Bronzeville, when African Americans moved into Little Tokyo, when the Japanese Americans were interned across the nation during World War II. And it was nicknamed Bronzeville, where Miles Davis and Charlie Parker plays jazz in the jazz clubs here in Little Tokyo. Monuments honoring early civil rights leader Sei Fuji, who helped overturn California's alien land law. They explored Sesue Hayakawa's ties to Little Tokyo and found out that he opened the Fujikan Theater here. So there's so much to learn, so much to discover, and every discovery comes with a celebration, with a program and a plaque, because LTHS loves to party.
So by sharing information and experiences with other groups about current struggles of Japantowns against gentrification and the loss of legacy, businesses, and institutions, LTHS is having sister city type exchanges with historic preservation groups fighting gentrification in Tsukushima, Tokyo. Now, coming back to today, 13 years ago, LTHS imagined a short story contest that would celebrate, pique the interest of, and invite or lure people into the world of Little Tokyo. You got one. The response was overwhelming. In the inaugural year, 65 people wrote stories about family gatherings for chinameshi at Far East Cafe, about historical sagas, tragedies, and love stories and futuristic fantasies. And an annual Imagine Little Tokyo short story contest was born. The next year, a Japanese language category was added. And the following year, actors were invited to read the winning stories, attracting more to the contest. Now, big name stars are invited to MC the award celebration, bringing even more people like yourselves.
So Imagine Little Tokyo and Discover Nikkei, two wonderful organizations, developed this special relationship in a partnership, expanding the audience and its opportunities. During the pandemic years, they traveled forward and continued with virtual celebrations, which actually tripled the audiences by enabling viewers from across the country who were not allowed to come out to still join, to commune, to be together in a Zoom room, as well as internationally to participate. Shout out to every single one of you who are joining us online.
So today, the winning story in each category, adult, Japanese language, and youth, will receive a certificate and a cash prize of $500. Not $5 million, but $500. That's good. Sorry, that was bad. A bad joke. All experiences are covered with generous donations from people like you and me and Tamlyn, especially Bill. Thank you for everything. Thank you, truly. And remember that donation bowl is right out front. So, gag gift bag today is July 11th. 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven!
This giveaway, it celebrates the home of the Big Gulp and the Slurpee and the yummy snacks you can get at the Japanese convenience stores like 7-Eleven. MC picks up the raffle tickets. There it is right there. Rowan or Brandon? Which one? Rowan, my man. Rowan Hidahara.
Thank you, Rowan.
Hidahara. He's a good-looking kid, man.
Christopher, you choose.
They're getting taller and taller. What the heck? Man. You ready?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to leave two. Which one do you want?
One.
Height does all. Okay. So we jump right here.
Okie dokie. So.
Good job, Roy.
The judges. So we are going to get started with. Do I read this right now? Do I give it right now?
Doing it now?
Gomen. Now I have to put my glasses.
Come
Okay.
back on, Roy. My bad, bro. My bad.
Gomen. I'm sorry. Come.
Come
because
over
you
here.
had the prize.
Yeah, we need the.
でもね、7-Eleven in America ちょっといやね、ちょっと no. It's not as good as Japan 7-Eleven because the egg salad sando is not onaji, ne? It's not the same. Anyway, but we have a prize here 050-636. 050-636. Come on down. Oh, Rowan will come up. 050-636. Your purple raffle ticket. Yay!
Hey! We got a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner. Fantastic. All right. To get on with the Short Story Awards, a judges panel will announce the winning stories. Then you all will enjoy a dramatic interpretation. See, I'm an actor, I cannot speak. Of the stories by award-winning actors. And our first category is the adult category. And I know your minds are going there. It is not the X-rated adult category. And it says, look at you, Christopher, but you are a good man. This one is solid. He's solid. This year, we have received 64 adult story submissions. None of them are X-rated. They came from as far as India, Pakistan, Nigeria, Spain. Go Spain, go France, go Norway. You know what I'm talking about. Algeria, Morocco. Sorry, Morocco. Mauritius Island in the Southwest Indian Ocean. We could have had, seriously, our own World Cup of writers here. We also had a submission from Corcoran Penitentiary in California, and although there are no trending themes, not surprisingly, Several stories decried the ice raids here in Little Tokyo.
All right. So the adult English language judges panel will announce the winning story. They are Eric Watt, who is a writer of fiction and nonfiction. His latest book, Daddy Issues, Stories, received a Barbara Dennard Prize in Fiction. And his first book, Swim, was on the LA Times bestseller list for 1 week in 2009. Give it up for that. Congratulations. So Honolulu-born Susan Ginoza Fukushima is a 3.5 Okinawa Japanese-American who went from editing fiction for the Hawaii Review to a stint at JANM's Hirasaki National Resource Center, then moving to librarian for the Los Angeles Public Library. That is beautiful. We love that library. Our third judge is Keiichi Nakagawa. She's our favorite. We love her. We love her. They're all amazing. Our colleague, also Okinawan Japanese-American, a working actor. Remember her from Gilmore Girls. She's phenomenal. Who does improv classes based on the Meisner technique. Keiko has published an artist workbook titled No Mistakes through Random House.
Yes. So many well-written stories were received by Imagine Little Tokyo that our pre-screeners and judges advocated for honorable mention recognition in each of these categories. The honorable mention stories will not be read tonight. They will, however, be published in Discover Nikkei for all of you to enjoy. The honorable mention for the adult category is The Weight of Plums by Mohammed Rasa, who is a 19-year-old from Pakistan. Mohammed is from, yay! Congratulations, Mohammed. Mohammed is from an underdeveloped community. He has just completed high school on a scholarship, won a silver award in the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition in 2025, and, quote, hopes to continue using storytelling to build understanding across cultures and generations, unquote. Congratulations, Mohammed. Mohammed is watching us on live stream from Pakistan.
Congratulations, congratulations. So the 2026 adult winning story is The Ghost Tour of Little Tokyo Wishes to Apologize, written by Paul Griffiths from Arlington, Massachusetts. He is here with us today. He's here with us today, right? In the audience, and you're going to meet with him after the reading. Paul is a Boston University grad in creative writing and is currently working on a collection of stories exploring memory, power, and survival. The 3 winning stories will be published in Discover Nikkei on the new upgraded Little Tokyo Historical Society website and the Rafu Shimpo. And now, let's invite the amazing, the incredible, the beautiful Keiichi Nakagawa to talk about why the judges panel selected the winning story. Hey!
Yay!
Yo.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Do I talk here? Oh, okay,
Please,
great.
yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hi. Okay. Hi, I'm Keiko. I just want to say thank you so much to Tamlyn and Sean for introducing me, and to the Little Tokyo Historical Society for inviting me to be here. I am the representative of all 3 judges. Not everyone could be here today, so I will be here just to tell you about what the process was a little bit. Basically, so there were 64 adult submissions, and 6 readers actually narrowed that down for us, for the 3 judges. So they did a lot of great work, and of those 11 that they selected for us, all 11 were really fantastic, to be honest, and it was a really a joy to read. They were all so different, and so it was difficult to decide which ones we really resonated with, but because of each one has their own points of view and personal style. So what we did was we read and reread them, and we took into consideration the content of the story, the quality of the writing, and then also how it pertains to Little Tokyo. And in we individually read them, and then we got together online, and then also through Zoom and through email to discuss our winners. And then it came to be that the Ghost Tour of Little Tokyo Wishes to Apologize is the winning. I'm rambling a little bit, but I just they said 3 minutes, and I was like, okay, I have to write it down. But I just wanted to say that off of this, but I really did love the story. It's a great story, and you'll see in a minute why it was. The tone was just so wonderful. It was comedic, and yet it lent itself to some very deep touches of what it means to be in Little Tokyo and the history of Little Tokyo. So I'm very glad that this is the winner. So congratulations. Yeah.
Oh, real quick, she also has an amazing show, Asian AF.
Oh,
it's so good.
That's right. Thank you for the plug, Christopher. So she is in a show called Asian AF Voltron, which will be performing at Outside In Theater, 5317 York Boulevard in Highland Park, at 9 o'clock tonight. So to see the talented Keiko Agena amongst her cohorts and her teammates really improvising in storytelling is really a wonder and amazing exercise to watch, and you'll have a lot of fun communing with all the actors there. So that's the invitation. Thank you so very much, Christopher, for mentioning that.
Responders.
Yes.
Terrible handwriting.
Oh, no. Respond. I got it. Your handwriting is good. The winning stories are brought to life with dramatic readings by professional actors, and this year we are extremely going to cry because I love this woman because of the art she produces and the stories she writes, and the experience she goes through in order to bring you these stories to make people understood and to make this world a better place. This woman is celebrated. She's funny as all get out, truthful, and so passionate. Kristina Wong has won such notoriety. She is infamous as well for being truthful and being the Mrs. Jeremy Lin 1.0. And then now she is Mr. Lee Superzinski's wife, Mr. Kristina Wong. Thank you so very much. She's just this powerhouse of an artist. That's the definition for Kristina Wong. And during the pandemic, she really gathered these first responders, literally first responders, by organizing a nationwide cadre of sewers, people who sewed with the sewing machine, her with the Hello Kitty sewing machine, to provide thousands of masks for people who were unable to secure those masks, especially first responders, especially immigrant laborers, who were all over the country and were unable to get it through the depleted government sources. Through donations, training, humor, and chutzpah, Auntie Kristina's sweatshop saved many thousands of lives. Kristina is a Doris Duke Artist Awardee, a Guggenheim Fellow, and first Asian American woman to be named Pulitzer Prize winner finalist in drama. Winner, I'll take a winner. So not only does she do the work, she gets awarded, and she is funny as all get out. Notable shows and solo shows, which are coming to East West Players in early spring 2027, include Wong Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Kristina Wong, Sweatshop Overlord, and the next upcoming Kristina Wong, #Food Bank Influencer. Her new book is out for sale. It's called Auntie Kristina's Guide to Asian American Activism and is available for purchase outside after the program. So to preface this reading, author Paul Griffiths. Paul, are you in the house? Did you make it here? Dude! Safe travels. Welcome to sunny LA from Massachusetts. Paul says, quote, your short story, comes in an unlikely format. It is a letter from a walking tour guide to their insurance company explaining a tour that went very, very wrong. It is entitled, quote, The Ghost Story of Little Tokyo Wishes to Apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Kristina Wong reading Paul Griffiths, The Ghost Story Little Tokyo Wishes to Apologize.
Best quality heart. Best quality heart right here. Oh. The Ghost Tour of Little Tokyo wishes to apologize. Dear gentlemen of the General Surety Insurance Corporation, our legal counsel has advised us to provide the following account. We wish to stress our appreciation for your 10-year underwriting of the Ghost Tour of Little Tokyo's liability, workers' compensation, and bodily injury / property damage insurance. It is because of this deep and abiding partnership that we feel it necessary to explain the circumstances behind that ill-fated tour, in the hope that you may reverse your decision to cancel our policy. Mistakes were made. Up front, it is worth admitting mistakes were made. However, it is our counsel's opinion that, given a more complete understanding of what transpired that night, General Surety may yet reconsider its position. Our tour began, as it always did, at Nishihonganji Buddhist Temple. Did we know that day was the Obon Festival? Yes, of course we did. The temple had just hosted Bonodori dancing. These dances, as you may recall, honor ancestral spirits, inspired by Maudgaliana rescuing his mother from the realm of hungry ghosts. Perhaps it was the weather, sunny, mild, just enough clouds for shade, that kept the festival unexpectedly full of revelers. Our tours proceed at dusk. The public won't go for daylight ghost excursions. We have market tested this approach. And again, this tour was no exception. We had 7 guests, slightly less than usual, but sufficient for an outing. These were all paying customers. They had signed waivers, copies of which can be found in Exhibit A. Which raises the question, what was so unusual that day? The scheduled tour guide called out sick. Being a small local business and it being a Sunday and a holiday at that, we overlooked that fact. Had this ever happened in the prior 14 years of operations? It had not. Proudly, you may verify this claim against our TripAdvisor reviews, 4.8 stars. What we do know is that a rogue guide took over. How she gained the trust of this tour group, how she divined their names, or how she could see deep into their hearts, we will leave that for you to conclude. What we can say is this. Her presence was unauthorized. She was neither a full-time employee nor a 1099 contractor and thus did not represent a covered entity under our policy. We use the temple as our starting point for the guide to greet the guests. It's a useful visual reference point. As General Surety's headquarters are in Sausalito, it may be helpful to orient you. The temple sits on First Street, a 2-story Mission Revival structure with clean lines. The building has survived immigration raids, exclusion orders, and gentrification. It stretches down the block like a pleasant yawn. We mean by that it appears relaxed, hardly a haunted house. As we have said, this was not the normal guide. She was not dressed in our signature haunted bellhop outfit. Email confirmations include a photo for reference. No, according to eyewitnesses, she was clothed in a white, full-length evening gown with kimono sleeves and a sash belt sewn across the waist. She even carried a period-appropriate parasol. So we understand our customer's misunderstanding. Her appearance felt thematically appropriate. The temple had left its gates open to accommodate lingering dancers adorned in anything from traditional yukata to shorts and t-shirts. The atmosphere was convivial. Everyone was welcome. No one was out of place. In other words, she did not stand out. She provided the tour group with a second waiver. This new paperwork created some confusion, since ours is already quite thorough. Someone joked, "Is this where I sign my life away?" Unfortunately for them, but obviously not for us, each attendee executed the document. An example is included as Exhibit B. You may need it translated, but we direct your attention to a specific phrase in the last paragraph. The undersigned consents to atone in perpetual remembrance. Moreover, and this is a point in our favor, this guy did not execute the documents as our company's representative. No, her mark was simply the Japanese character Oni. Bilingual, okay. Good gentlemen of General Surety Insurance Corporation, the closest English translation of Oni is demon. From the timeline we have reconstructed, the tour began with a lesson. After she had collected the documents, she asserted, "Little Tokyo is a neighborhood built on agreements." She explained the history of picture brides who sent photographs to be circulated in America. She produced what appeared to be a genuine Koseki family registry. She noted that these were contractual migrations. Entire households materialized in Little Tokyo because packages sailed across the Pacific. I want to assure you that our standard text contains none of this. Our guides are supposed to say, if you look at the second floor windows, you might notice some unusual reflections. Of course, it could be the setting sun. Or it could be someone who never left. And that's it. The streetlights typically flicker on at dusk, a little spookiness, a little pondering, then on to the next stop. But not that night. This guide went completely off script. She led the tour down First Street to the Far East building. She had them each place a finger in the air to trace the central arched parapet, to admire the smooth facade, to note the symmetrical composition. She informed them it was built in 1917. Boarding rooms above, storefronts below. She described how men crowded the floor in sleep, how exhausted they were as laborers, newly arrived Issei who put on a brave face on letters home. She explained that many tried to shield their families from the alien land law's impact. They didn't mention a prohibition on citizenship, on owning property. These men were still proud and hopeful. They wrote optimistic letters to forthcoming brides. "We didn't lack money," she said. "We lacked paperwork." Few noticed the shift to we, and those who did ascribed it to like a method acting thing. This, of course, is Los Angeles, after all. The guide explained that if you could not own land, you leased it. If you couldn't lease it, you had a child. At least then, they were American by birth. At least you could try to deed land in their name. If you had no child, and here several interviewees noted, a quaver arose in her voice, you asked a friend. But if you trusted the wrong person, you might lose everything. You might disappear entirely. A cold wind began to blow. Several people reported feeling unseasonal chills in the air. Meteorological support, exhibit B, C. When they approached Daikokuya Ramen, she paused. The restaurant is so popular in the summer that it spills into an outdoor tent across the sidewalk. Watching diners enjoy their meals seemed to vex her. She demanded that each person on the tour purchase a bowl of ramen. It was a surprising request, but dusk had settled. The lights of buildings shimmered, and paper lanterns fluttered in the breeze. So the tour obliged and dutifully filed inside, but she refused to enter, blocking the doorway, one hand on the window, awaiting 7 bowls of ramen. When the group returned, she snatched the first bowl and ate it on the sidewalk. She snapped up the noodles in 5 quick clicks of her chopsticks, then drained the broth in frustrated gulps. Cold. She insisted on a second bowl, which was steaming as she removed its lids. She made the quick work of that as well. Bland. A spicy miso was offered next. We have refunded parties with a receipt, Exhibit D. The guide slathered it in an entire jar of chili oil and gobbled it up just as quickly, still unsatisfied. She grabbed a seat patron by the shirt. What does it taste of? He sputtered. Pork belly chashu, bean sprouts, green onions, savory broth. This thought incensed her, that he could taste it while she could not. She seized a bottle of soy sauce from his table and hurled it at the restaurant front, splintering glass. We are aware of the claim for the window, but as we said, this was not one of our employees. The guide's mood infected the tour. People were on edge. She steered the group beyond Little Tokyo towards City Hall. As they approached, she knocked aside an orange men at work signs in the park. The group was uncertain. Was this bizarre behavior all part of the act? Several reported considering leaving right there and then, but she bade them to stay for one final stop. City Hall was lit up, white, tall, and clear in the night. She commenced. In this part, we have verbatim, confirmed through several interviews, to explain the civilian exclusion orders. In 1942, notices were posted. Days to close up shop, days to store a life's worth of belongings, days to decide who we could trust. Some of us signed leases, some signed letters, some letters to attorney, while others of us signed nothing. At this, tears began to roll down her face, but she maintained her composure. When we were finally released, we were given train tickets, $25, any paper we had safeguarded. But coming home, Little Tokyo had changed. Properties seized, houses emptied. We returned after years to find even the sturdiest agreements had been broken. She looked around carefully at the tour group, at each person, one by one. City offices reviewed claims, courts settled disputes. Too slowly. We needed housing, jobs, banks required proof of deeds, landlords required proof of tenancy, insurance companies required proof of loss. But what happens if you trusted one person with your life and that person erases you from record? What justice can you find? And she said this, as she said this, she retrieved that second set of waivers. Your grandmother should have taught you to read everything, to only put your name on what you can understand. You see, good sirs, no one on the tour was fluent in Japanese. They were utterly clueless about what they'd signed. There is no delicate way to state this. Those waivers gave this guide rights to their very own souls. They had signed away their existence in this life and in any life to come. We are unsure of the legal standing here. Acknowledging the novelty of the situation, one we hope the likes of which you haven't seen before, we note two important matters. First, they signed willingly, even though our counsel remains unclear about the jurisprudence of such a document. Second, something gave the tour guide pause. Perhaps it was the location. Standing in the shadow of City Hall, she began to speak of bureaucracy. She recounted the energetic efficiency of the relocation and the quiet chaos of return. Many tore us down. Few wanted to help rebuild. She relayed this not with rancor, but with a sad resignation. Then she studied the group one last time. Each of them, every single person saw this woman's life unspool before them as a movie, and each understood she had been a picture bride. She had traveled an ocean to marry a stranger. They'd labored together as husband and wife, unable to purchase a home, unable to have children. They were removed. They were interned. They returned to betrayal. She had been forgotten, or so she thought. While she was seeking someone to bind, to exact revenge, to soothe her wretched existence, she found instead in each person on that night's tour an unexpected compassion. Her story filled their hearts with empathy, and in seeing her own life reflected back, she appeared to feel it too. She gasped, suddenly contrite. I attempted to deceive you, as I was deceived. No more. She flung the waivers at their feet. Hungry ghosts only take what has been willingly given. I release my claims on you. Go, restore, rebuild. Then she vanished. Gentlemen, we must focus on the big picture here. Was anyone's soul technically lost? Hardly. Ask any member of that group and they will say it changed them for the better. They convene on Zoom every Sunday night. They've started a resettlement advocacy group for people in Little Tokyo and beyond. In her honor, they adopted her parasol as their logo, a symbolic protection. Finally, to the matter at hand, we deeply regret all that transpired. Sincerely, we do. But we threatened to cancel our coverage pending current or future claims. Begs a simple question. Are we liable? We do not believe so. We assert that an unlikely series of events conspired here, perhaps even an act of God. We cannot be held accountable for an otherworldly spirit summoned during a festival when the veil between worlds is already thin. We cannot be held accountable for documents executed by consenting adults in the presence of an unaffiliated entity. And we cannot be held accountable for a ghost tour operated by a literal ghost. But please, note that in response to your previous correspondence, we plead with you, let us continue working together. You see, word is circulated that our tour offers an unusually authentic experience. Our socials are mobbed, our waiting list stretches 4 months, bookings are up by 350%. We are writing to request an expansion of our existing policy. Dear sirs, we wish nothing more than our continued mutual success and look forward to a most favorable reply. Sincerely, owners, the Ghost Tour of Little Tokyo. P.S. All 7 participants left us 5-star reviews. We have conveyed to certain celestial powers that this particular guide would be most welcome to return. Accordingly, our waiver has been amended to void any possible soul-related transfers in the future.
Holy moly. Wow, that was so good. That was, how do you top that?
It's like, why did it end?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's a short story.
Oh my goodness! You know what? I decided, Kristina, you're taking my place. I'm done. I'm refrained from speaking any longer. That was so good. No, thank you very much. Really, congratulations. Amazing job. Wow. Okay, well let's move on. How do I top that?
I know.
Now we would like to welcome our winning author to come down and say a few words about his story. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Griffiths. Incredible.
Thank you so much. You know when people say they haven't prepared anything and you know they're lying? This is not one of those times. I have nothing prepared. I just want to say, great appreciation for this whole contest. It's a great honor not only to win, but just to participate. And for me, I was quite moved the more I learned not only about the mission of Little Tokyo's Historical Society for the kind of physical space, but also the act of remembrance. And so I learned a lot, and especially in these times, seeing some of the errors of our past being reflected in our future. And so, as I was talking about writing the story, I just gained a lot of empathy and compassion. And so my hope was reflecting some of that experience back. And so I thank you for this great appreciation and this gift of hearing, yes, my words read out by an absolutely amazing actor. Thank you so very much. And thank you all for your kind attention.
Oh man, he was so good. You're going to take my place now. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So let's talk about the certificate and check presentation by Naomi and Mia. Yes. And the photo with Bill and Mike after. Shall we? Hey-oh! Come on down.
So come on down, yes. There we go.
All right. Congratulations. All right, who's ready for another raffle, huh? Let's get your tickets out, everybody, because our first opportunity for a giveaway, here he comes again. Yay, tall, strong, the mighty Rowan. All right, mystery book bundle, here we go. Dochika? Hidari to migi. Hidari ka. Hai, dozo. That right one might have been one of yours. All right, let's take a look.
Okay. All righty. A complete set. The lucky prize winner will get a first opportunity. This is the first opportunity giveaway. So it is a mystery book bundle, a complete set of the Japantown Mystery Series by award-winning mystery author, writer, and co-chair of Imagine Little Tokyo. You know her, Naomi Ohara. The mystery bundle, yay, includes 3 hardcover books, Clark a Division, that's up in the Bay, Evergreen, that's across the street, and Crown City. And Naomi will sign your books after the program. So, winner, chicken dinner next is 050622.
It's me.
050622.
Who got it?
Who got it? Yay!
Congratulations.
Yay! And then, Paul, you don't know the coincidence. Today and tomorrow is the Nishihonganji Obon. And so your car is parked here, or you Ubered or lifted, so you could literally walk across Alameda, and you can dance the night away and eat all the onigiri, the spam musubi, the shaved ice, the teriyaki. Huh? Chili rice! I know. And then there's bingo inside the Kaikan, which is the gymnasium / basketball court and the community. So you'll have a really wonderful time. And the story that you wrote will deepen. So thank you for being here, and congratulations again for winning the adult category. All right, our next category is Nihongo, Japanese language. 34 stories were submitted from all parts of Japan. Kyoto, Tokyo, Okinawa, Niigata, Shizuoka, Wakayama, and a few from Southern California and New York. There was a pleasant surprise with 14 additional submissions by students in a Japanese immersion program here in Glendale. I think so. Yeah. It has to be Verdugo Woodlands. We were just thought it has to be Verdugo Woodlands. So each year the Japanese submissions are increasing. So, this is the first page. Sorry, gomen. See, I'm just an actor. It's like, okay, all right. I have to. Anyway, I'm not like David. Oh no, I have to read everything. Okay, so that was my dig to David on it. But the judges panel for this category are Tato Takahama, a U.S.-based journalist and director of the Pacific Research Institute. Gomen, Ned, this is your section.
No, this sounds better from you, actually.
No. We gotta keep you working, man.
So, Tato Takahama, he's authored 13 books on Japan-U.S. relations, international politics, and previously worked for the Yomiuri Shimbun. He is a global politics columnist for Rafu Shimpo and cultural news. Saiko Dickinson has a degree in English and American literature in the University of Ryukyu and is a freelance translator and interpreter. She is also an instructor at the Japan Visual Media Translation Academy and has translated several books, including Rebels' Outcry, about civil rights activist Sei Fuji, commissioned by the LTHS. Lead judge is Satsuki Tsubota Palter, who co-authored our winning Japanese language story in 2024, and she is an ikebana artist and tea ceremony teacher. and is president of the LA chapter of Ohara Ikebana. She has a degree in mathematics from Tokyo University.
Yay! Thank you to all our judges. And the honorable mention for the Japanese language category goes to Spring Light on Shimmering Waters by Seiji Sasaki. Born in Tokyo, Sasaki-san earned his master's degree from University of Tokyo, where he researched E.G. Seidenstiker's translation of The Tales of Genji and conducted cross-cultural studies in translated literature. He's a high school teacher in Yamagata Prefecture.
All right, so let's get to the winner of the Japanese language story is Memories of Light on First Street by Hirotaka Morimoto. He lives in Tokyo, where he works as a company employee while writing novels and essays. Although he hasn't visited Los Angeles, he imagined the history and daily lives of the people of Little Tokyo while writing this piece. He incorporates the quiet, ordinary moments of light and memory in his writing. We'd like to invite Satsuki Paultier, lead Japanese judge, to say a few words about how they selected Memories of Light on First Street as the winning story. Satsuki, oi!
Actually, my name is Porter.
I'll get it right next time. Satsuki Polter is amazing.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Satsuki Porter. Together with Tato Takahama and Saiko Dickinson, we are the judges for the Japanese category. When I was asked to be a judge for the contest, I thought, okay, read some stories and pick the best one. Easy, right? This year, we received almost 50 stories in Japanese, including 34 by adults and 14 by youth. Thanks to the hard work by the screening committee, the judges only had to read the best 9 stories. Easy, right? Of course, there are 3 judges, but I expected the best story would be obvious to all of us. I was wrong. I bet you can guess what happened. 3 judges, 3 favorite stories, and we each thought our favorite has to be the winner. Unlike Americans, Japanese people are not so good at discussion and debate. We are quiet, but we can also be stubborn, especially me. So how to pick one winner? We went back to the purpose of the contest, to capture the spirit of Little Tokyo. Once we considered the stories with that guideline, the winner became clear. First Street no Hikari no Kyoku, Memories of Light on First Street by Hirotaka Morimoto. You will hear the story yourself. I'm sure you will agree that it not only captured the sights and sounds of Little Tokyo, but also what makes the neighborhood special, the people. It's especially remarkable how well Morimoto-san was able to capture the spirit of Little Tokyo, even though he's never been to Los Angeles. Congratulations, Morimoto-san. We also enjoyed Haru no Hikari Yureru Suimei ni. The Light of Spring Repose on the Water by Seiji Sasaki. We are happy to award this story honorable mention. Thank you to 48 authors of all ages who poured your hearts and your words into these stories. Thank you.
Thank you so very much to Satsuki Palter-san. ごめんね, Sean. I mean, Christopher, because sometimes English names are 難しいよ. Yeah, no? So it's difficult sometimes. Like, so our brains could go, oh, is it Potter? No, Satsuki. So, gomen nasai. But thank you so very much for the hard work and the difficult decision making to you and the other judges for the Japanese category of short story here. Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Awards. Thank you so very much. Okie dokie. Moving on. We have a very versatile and acclaimed Japanese voice actor whose work spans film, television, anime, and video games. Mr. Keiichi Nakagawa! His notable dubbing credits include Jonathan Pine, portrayed by Tom Hiddleston in John le Carre's best-selling spy novel, The Night Manager, Cho Song-woo's in Netflix's acclaimed Squid Games, Season 1, and Mephisto, portrayed by Sacha Baron Cohen in Marvel's Ironheart. In animation, he is recognized as the voice of Professor Kukui in Pokemon, the series, Sun and the Moon. A fun and a few of his extensive film and television credits include The Night Agent, Gossip Girl, American Horror Story, Apocalypse, The Twilight Saga, Gojira, and Flags of Our Fathers. Keiichi has numerous gaming and anime credits, and just a few are Tactics Ogre, Reborn, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, and Detective Conan, wildly popular in Japan, as well as many others. So, Christopher, you are a gamer. Do you know any of these games, and do you know the voice of Keiichi Nakagawa?
I think Keiichi Nakagawa is so prolific that everyone who plays a video game has probably played one of his characters and or interacted with one of his characters. He's incredible. He's very talented, and it's pretty amazing that we have him for this program.
Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Good job,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is from the horse's mouth, a true gamer. Thank you so very, I mean, he really is like this, but he's also creator as well. So again, ladies and gentlemen, please give your hands up as we present Keiichi Nakagawa on video reading Memories of Light on First Street.
Hi everyone. こんにちは。日本で声優として活動しております中川圭一と申します。はじめまして。まずはショートストーリーコンテスト受賞者の皆さん、本当におめでとうございます。そしてリトル東京歴史協会が20周年を迎えられるとのことで本当におめでとうございます。数年前に皆さんの意義深い活動とその思いを知りまして大変感銘を受けました。今日はこの会場にいらっしゃる皆様のますますのご発展と健康を祈りつつ、日本から朗読をお届けしたいと思います。Hi everyone. こんにちは。日本で声優として活動しております中川圭一と申します。はじめまして。まずはショートストーリーコンテスト受賞者の皆さん、本当におめでとうございます。そしてリトル東京歴史協会が20周年を迎えられるとのことで本当におめでとうございます。数年前に皆さんの意義深い活動とその思いを知りまして大変感銘を受けました。今日はこの会場にいらっしゃる皆様のますますのご発展と、健康を祈りつつ、日本から朗読をお届けしたいと思います。この素晴らしい授賞式の一助になれたら幸いです。それでは、どうぞ。ファーストストリートの光の記憶。カリフォルニアの空は暴力的なまでに青く、雲一つない。
肌を刺すような乾燥した風がヤシの木の葉をガサガサと揺らしながら吹き抜けていく。健太は首から下げた重いフィルムカメラを持て余すようにロサンゼルスのダウンタウン、リトル東京のセントラルアベニューを歩いていた。日本の息苦しさから逃れ、写真家としての何かをつかむために海を渡ってきてから、すでに半年が経とうとしていた。だが、未だに何を撮るべきなのか、ファインダー越しに世界とどう向き合うべきなのか、確たる答えは出ていなかった。1階にモダンなカフェやラーメン店が入る新しいアパートメント群を抜けると、風景は不意に時代を遡ったように表情を変える。ファーストストリートの入り口、赤い火の見櫓のモニュメントが見えてくる。そこから先は100年にわたる日系人の歴史が染み込んだブロックだった。ファーイーストカフェの古びた巨大な看板、レンガ造りの建物、ショーウィンドウに並ぶカラフルな餅菓子の数々。照り焼きソースの甘い匂いとエスプレッソの苦い香りが混ざり合い、ストリートミュージシャンの弾くアコースティックギターの音色を包み込んでいる。近年、再開発の波が押し寄せ、地下鉄の新しい駅ができ、若者や観光客であふれかえるようになったこの街は、古いものと新しいものが奇妙なバランスで共存していた。健太はファーストストリートの中ほどにある間口の狭い一軒の店の前で足を止めた。宮村時計写真機修理店という色あせた手書きの金文字がガラス戸に踊っている。ウィンドウの中にはアンティークの懐中時計や使い込まれたライカや二眼レフカメラが埃をかぶって整然と並べられていた。現代のロサンゼルスの喧騒からそこだけが完全に切り離されているように見えた。無意識のうちに真鍮のドアノブを回すと、カランカランと乾いたベルの音が鳴った。店内は油と古い紙、それに古い木材の匂いがした。壁には無数の時計がかけられ、それぞれが異なるリズムでチクタクと時を刻んでいる。いらっしゃい。カウンターの奥からルーペを右目にはめた小柄な老人が顔を上げた。真っ白な髪にチェックのフランネルシャツ。深いシワに覆われた顔は厳しい砂漠の太陽と風に長年さらされてきた樹皮のようだった。あ、すみません。ただ、ちょっと見てみたくて。健太が日本語で返すと、老人はルーペを外し、少し驚いたように目をしばたたかせた。日本人かい？最近の若い子はみんなスマホばかりで、そんな古い鉄の塊を下げているのは珍しいね。老人は少し英語の訛りが混ざった。しかし、丁寧な日本語でそう言った。彼の視線は、健太の胸元にある使い込まれたニコン F に向けられていた。これは、祖父の形見なんです。見せてごらん。促されるままにカメラを手渡すと、老人はゴツゴツとした指先で、まるで赤子を撫でるように金属のボディを確かめた。フィルムは入っているかい？健太がまだ装填していないと首を振って答えると、老人はいたわるようにシャッターを巻き上げて、 一回空切りした。カシャンという重厚な機械音が店内に響いた。いい音だ。1960年代の初期モデルだね。スローシャッターが少し粘っているが、油をさせばまだ何十年も現役でいられる。老人はジョージ宮村と名乗った。日系三世だという。彼の祖父が1920年代にこのリトル東京で時計店を開き、それから父、そしてジョージへと店は受け継がれてきた。コーヒーでもどうだい？ちょうど入れたところなんだ。ジョージは奥からマグカップを2つ持ってきた。ありがとうございます。突然すみません。実は僕、写真を勉強したくて LA に来たんですが、最近スランプで、何を撮ってもただの表面的な綺麗な絵にしかならなくて、この街を歩いていても、自分はただの部外者で、景色が遠く感じるんです。初対面の相手にどうしてこんなことを打ち明けてしまったのか、健太自身にもわからなかった。ただ、店の静かな空気とジョージの穏やかな眼差しが彼の中に溜まっていた檻のようなものを引き出したのかもしれない。ジョージは湯気の立つコーヒーをすすり、ふーっと息を吐いた。部外者か。私もね、若い頃はずっと自分が何者なのかわからなかった。ジョージの眼差しが店の外の眩しいファーストストリートへと向けられた。私の両親は日系2世でね、私が生まれたのは第二次世界大戦の真っ最中、カリフォルニアのマンザナー強制収容所の中だった。健太は息を飲んだ。日系人の強制収容の歴史は本で読んだことがあったが、それを実際に経験した人から直接話を聞くのは初めてだった。鉄条網と監視塔に囲まれた砂漠の中。何もかも奪われて、アメリカ人であることを証明しろと迫られた。戦後、両親と一緒にこのロサンゼルスに戻ってきたとき、リトル東京は別の街みたいになっていたよ。でも、帰る場所はここしかなかった。日系人たちはまたゼロから一つずつレンガを積み上げるようにしてコミュニティを再建したんだ。ジョージはゆっくりと店内を見渡した。この店も父が焼け残った部品を集めて再開したものさ。私にとってこの街の風景はただの景色じゃない。何世代にもわたる人々の汗と涙、諦めと希望が染み込んだ記憶そのものなんだよ。君の言う表面的な綺麗な絵になってしまう理由はきっとそこにあるんじゃないかな。レンズの向こうにあるものと深く対話していないからだ。対話。健太はその言葉を心の中で反芻した。来月でこの店を閉めることにしてね。ジョージが不意に言った言葉に健太は驚いて顔を上げた。閉めるんですか？どうして？私ももう82歳だ。目はかすむし手も震える。それにこの建物のオーナーが変わってね、 家賃が倍になるんだ。ジェントリフィケーションというやつさ。新しいコンドミニアムになるらしい。寂しそうに微笑むジョージの顔には、抗えない時代の流れを受け入れる静かな定年が浮かんでいた。健太は胸の奥がぎゅっと締め付けられるのを感じた。この街の歴史そのもののようなこの空間が跡形もなく消え去ってしまう。日が傾いてきたね。少し歩こうか。ジョージは店の鍵を閉めると、健太を連れてリトル東京の街へ出た。夕暮れの車光がファーストストリートの古いレンガ造りの建物を赤銅色に染め上げていた。長く伸びた影がアスファルトの上を覆っていく。あそこにあるのが風月堂だ。ジョージが杖で指した。100年以上続く和菓子屋。戦時中、彼らが収容所にいた時も、この町を守ってくれた人たちがいたから今がある。二人は全米日系人博物館の前の広場を抜け、ゴーフォーブローク記念碑の前に立った。第二次大戦で戦った日系人部隊を称える黒い大理石の壁。そこに刻まれた無数の名前をジョージは愛おしそうになぞった。彼らは国のために血を流して自分たちがアメリカ人であることを証明した。その歴史の上に今の私たちが立っている。街灯が一つ、また一つと灯り始める。リトル東京のネオンサインがロサンゼルスの紫色の夜空に浮かび上がった。若いカップルが笑い合いながら通り過ぎ、車道では車のテールランプが川のように流れていく。健太は目の前に広がる景色が昼間とは全く違って見えていることに気づいた。それは単なる古い日本街の風景ではなかった。差別や戦争、強制収容という絶望のどん底から這い上がり、懸命に生きた人々の息遣いが、建物のひび割れたレンガ一つ一つに、アスファルトのシミに、そしてジョージの顔に刻まれたシワの奥に、確かに脈打っていた。過去から現在へと連なる、目に見えない巨大な時間の本流。その先端に、自分は今、立っている。ジョージさん。健太は立ち止まり、首に下げたニコン F のレンズキャップを外した。写真を撮らせてください。ジョージさんの写真を、このファーストストリートと一緒に。ジョージは少し驚いたように目を見開いた後、柔らかく微笑んでうなずいた。ああ、構わないよ。健太はファインダーを覗き込んだ。ピントリングを回す。レンズの向こう側でファーストストリートの古い建物のネオンの光を背景にジョージが立っている。夕暮れの淡い光が彼の銀髪を照らし、深く刻まれたシワの一つ一つに落ちる影が彼の歩んできた84年の歴史を雄弁に物語っていた。ただの景色ではない。記録するのだ。 この町の魂を。消えゆくものと、それでも決して消えない人々の尊厳を。自分の内側で何かがパズルのピースのようにカチリとはまった気がした。迷いは消えていた。息を詰め、そっとシャッターを押し込む。カシャン。重く確かな機械音がリトル東京の夕暮れの空気に吸い込まれていった。それは健太にとって初めて自分の意志で世界とつながり、光を刻みつけた瞬間だった。3年後、ロサンゼルスのダウンタウンにある小さなギャラリーは多くの人々で賑わっていた。壁に飾られているのはモノクロームのポートレートの数々。被写体はすべてリトル東京で生きる人々だった。寿司屋の職人、寺院の僧侶、ストリートを清掃するボランティアの若者、そして今はもう取り壊されてしまった古い時計店のカウンターに立つ老人の姿。ファーストストリートの記憶と題された健太の初個展はローカルの新聞にも取り上げられ、予想以上の反響を呼んでいた。ギャラリーの隅で健太は来客と談笑しながらふとあの一枚の写真に目をやった。写真の中のジョージはあの日の夕暮れの光の中で穏やかにしかし力強く微笑んでいる。彼の店があった場所は今は巨大なガラス張りのコンドミニアムに変わってしまった。街の風景は変わり続ける。抗いようのない力で塗り替えられていく。しかしジョージが教えてくれた記憶はこうして銀塩のフィルムに定着され、人々の心の中で生き続ける。いい写真ですね。不意に背後から声をかけられ、健太は振り返った。そこには日系の若い女性が立っていた。彼女の目にはうっすらと涙が浮かんでいるように見えた。私の祖父も昔この近くで店をやっていたんです。この写真を見ていると、あの頃の街の匂いや音がよみがえってくるみたいで。ありがとうございます。健太は深く頭を下げた。胸の奥に温かいものがじんわりと広がっていくのを感じた。自分はもうこの街の部外者ではない。カメラを通じて過去の記憶と現在を結びつけ、未来へと手渡していく。それこそが自分がこのカリフォルニアの地で見つけた写真家としてのアイデンティティだった。ギャラリーの外に出ると、ロサンゼルスの強い日差しが降り注いでいた。遠くからリトル東京の新しい駅に滑り込む電車の音が聞こえてくる。健太は首から下げたニコン F にそっと触れ、眩しい空を見上げた。踏み出した足取りは、3年前のあの日とは比べ物にならないほど、確かな力強さに満ちていた。
Wow, so lovely. There truly is something, such thing as Nihon no poi, ne? There's a kind of sensitivity, the delicacy, and Christopher and I, as well as the majority of the people here, in being Nikkei-jin or America-jin, knowing that there is such thing as a Japanese essence, a Japanese spirit, a Japanese heart is reflected in this story, and especially in the reading from Keiichi Nakagawa. So we just, on behalf of Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Awards and the Little Tokyo Historical Society, thank you for Keiichi Nakagawa for reading the story so beautifully, and for the story from Hirotaka Morimoto for this beautiful rendition of what it means to find identity, to find your heart, to find your strength along the streets in Little Tokyo, especially here on First Street. So congratulations. Would you like to read? Yes.
Yes.
Lovely.
Oh, this is exciting for me. So congratulations again. And thank you to everyone in Tokyo, Japan for watching the live stream. Hirotaka Morimoto is our winning author in Tokyo, Japan, and he sent a letter that he would like to read on his behalf. We would like to bring up the amazing, the incredible, one of my favorite people, Eijiro Ozaki, popular Japanese actor living in LA, the man from the High Castle, Shogun, Letters from Iwo Jima. He is a member of the Imagine Little Tokyo Committee and will read Morimoto's statement in English and Japanese. And look at him, he's gorgeous. Give him a round of applause as you bring him out. He's incredible, everybody.
Christopher is too kind. I'm quite touched because I just saw some of you were crying, listening to the story. That was wonderful. Both Morimoto-san and Nakagawa-san, the voice actor, are watching this in Japan. So yes, thank you so much. Thank you. どうもありがとうございました。本当におめでとうございます。Congratulations. Here is the message from Morimoto-san. この度は名誉ある賞をいただき、心より感謝申し上げます。日本から想像を膨らませて描いたリトル東京の物語が皆様の心に届いたことを大変嬉しく思います。本日は出席できず残念ですが、ロサンゼルスの皆様と作品を通じてつながれたことは私にとってかけがえのない喜びです。本当にありがとうございました。I am deeply honored to receive this prestigious award, and I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude. I am truly delighted to know that this story of Little Tokyo, which I imagined and wrote from Japan, has resonated with all of you. Although I regret that I can't be there with you today, it brings me a joy beyond compare to have connected with the people of Los Angeles through my work. Thank you very much.
Wow, again, congratulations to Hirotaka Morimoto-san and Keiichi Nakagawa for that beautiful rendition of Memory of First Street. It was such a lovely pleasure to hear those words and to hear the words of gratitude and thanks from both those gentlemen. Thank you so very much for attending here today online. And just a short reflection as a Nikkei-jin, I think that here in Little Tokyo, we are comprised of so many volunteers who don't have that comfort or the ability to speak Nihongo, but we are here celebrating stories from Japan, from Japanese people, because knowing that the motherland of Japan contributes to who we are as Nikkei-jin, as Japanese Americans here in Little Tokyo, is something that is very, very meaningful and something that we look forward to carrying forward in the future and bridging the gap in making sure that our countries, as well as all our sister and brother countries around the world, can get along and make this world a better place. So congratulations. Thank you so very much. Okie dokie. So, the anime Jungle Bungle. Various gifts from Anime Jungle in Little Tokyo, including T-shirt and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Christopher, why don't you choose the ticket this time?
Actually, you pick one and I'll take it.
Okay. はい、どうぞ。
はい、ありがとう。
どうぞ、Yu-Gi-Oh!
Two? Oh, we're doing two.
Oh, we doing two?
Okay, Rowan, you
Oh, okie dokie. You pick one.
looking Rowan. We
I
got
know.
one. Hey, well, thank you, brother.
Arigato, thank you. Okay,
Okay.
you get to read them.
All right, here we go. You guys got your raffle tickets ready? 050 656. 050 656. Check your numbers.
656. 656. Yay! Yu-Gi-Oh!
And our second winner, 050604.
Ooh, very good.
050604.
Yay! Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right.
Thank you, Rowan-chan. You can put it.
All right.
Aye.
Oh, that was fun, man. Raffles are great. Spice it up a little bit. So, the youth category. That's a fun category. Full of surprises, but also surprisingly sentimental. Lots of stories about relationships with Ba-chan and Ji-chan. We've received stories from children as young as 8 years old. Yeah, right? So cute. When the award celebrations used to take place in the evenings, one youth winner had to leave early to go to bed because he had school the next day. Now, we have our program during the day. So young people, they sent in stories as far as Nigeria, Chiba, Japan, and Canada, as well as Iowa, Arizona, Philadelphia, and very few were JA writers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So come on, JA writers, represent. Where are you guys at? Our youth judges are Debbie Michiko Florence, an acclaimed author of more than 30 books for children and tweens, such as Last Chance Academy, A Study in Secret, which was a finalist for the 2026 Edgar Award. She is the author of the award-winning Jasmine Toguchi chapter book series, which has sold more than 200,000 copies. Wow. And you can purchase her books and have them signed after the program. Dan Nishimoto is an archivist, writer, librarian, educator, producer, and DJ, all right, with an MS in Information and Library Services from Pratt University. He has written for journals and zines and can be found at LA Public Library and Mixcloud. Allison Minami has an MFA in creative writing and writing for the performing arts. UC Riverside, and teachers writing at USC. She participated in playwrights labs at the Company of Angels and how do you say that?
Antaeus.
That's the one. Antaeus, thank you. Antaeus Theater, East West Players, and her most recent play, Patsy, highlights Patsy Mink, first woman of color elected to the U.S. Congress. Let's give it up for them.
Yay! Thank you, Debbie, Dan, and Allison for doing that hard work, especially in the youth category, because you love them all because they're from the kids. Our honorable mention award goes to Emily Emiko G, a Gosei senior, 5th generation in high school in Orange County, and is treasurer of the school's Creating Writing Club. She wrote, Ba-chan, about a young girl who, on her weekly visit to her Ba-chan in Little Tokyo Towers, meets a young Japanese girl dressed in 1940s clothes who may or may not be a younger version of her Ba-chan. Emily was in the Kizuna Leadership in Action program in 2025. And next, Christopher. Congratulations,
congratulations.
to Emily Emiko G.
Oh, there she is.
Woohoo!
That's awesome. And a raffle winner. Well done. Double trouble. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. The winning story is Lantern Weather, written by Joel Chung. She is a biology freshman from Pennsylvania and combines a passion for science with community leadership as founder of the global nonprofit Eyes Heroes Global. Beyond her entrepreneurial efforts in public health and advocacy, Joelle serves as a youth council member on a local board where she helps drive community initiatives. Joelle, I hope I'm saying that right. Joelle looks forward to bringing her dedication to service and scientific inquiry to her upcoming college journey.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
I know.
Wow. And now, two of our youth judges would like to talk about how they selected the winning stories. Please welcome to the stage Allison Minami and Debbie Michiko Florence. Hey-oh!
It is so exciting for me to be here because over 10 years ago, I was on the Little Tokyo Short Story Committee contest committee. And I've also been a reader, culling down those finalist stories. And I've also read stories as an actress. And this year, I was asked to be a judge, which was very exciting. As many of the other judges experienced, it was very difficult to choose. We read several really, really good stories, and we definitely had some disagreements. But something that I noticed that is a thematic in all of these short stories is the theme of memory and the theme of gentrification and change. And so I think that the contest is really important in terms of celebrating a really important historical place for so many people and so many families. So I'm honored to be here. These are the comments that I pre-wrote. So, Lantern Weather is a beautifully written piece that brings the magic and delight of Little Tokyo to life with so much sensorial detail. The smell of yakitori wafting in the air, the sweet taste of taiyaki, or the pink, green, white colors of dango on a stick, the whispering sounds of lanterns brushing up against each other at night. Not only is this a powerful story of place, but more significantly, it is a story of the people who make a place home. One of my favorite lines among many is when the narrator describes her grandmother in her shop. She says, "She looked like a woman made to keep things standing." This line speaks so much to the power of our matriarchal ancestors, the grandmothers and mothers who came before us and taught us about strength, resilience, humility, and love. For me, Lantern Weather is about honoring those women in our lives and remembering to keep those ties strong. And I will pass it to Debbie, who was also a judge on in this category.
Thank you, Allison. I was so honored to be one of the judges for the youth category. I grew up in Los Angeles and have fond memories of coming to Little Tokyo for food and shopping, and now as an adult, I love returning. Before I share why we chose the winning story, I want to commend all the young writers who entered this contest. I started writing stories at a very young age, throughout high school and beyond, but I didn't share my stories with anybody. I didn't even consider it as a career path, even though I loved to read and write. It wasn't until almost 2 decades after graduating college and becoming an educator that I decided to seriously pursue a career as a writer, specifically writing books, starring Japanese American characters for children and tweens, because what an honor it is to help turn young people into readers. All this to say, I'm not sure I would have ever been brave enough as a student to write a story and enter it into a contest. To every writer who entered this contest, I applaud you for your courage and your creativity. We need all the stories, particularly from young people and underrepresented voices. So thank you for sharing your stories, and I hope you will continue to write them. So back to the judging committee, we had a meeting, as Allison was saying, and we had a lively discussion. We agreed the stories by the finalists were all well written, and we chose Lantern Weather as the winner. Judge Dun Nishimoto says, Lantern Weather captures much of what Little Tokyo was, is, and hopefully will continue to be, a place of community and intergenerational learning. The story also captures the fragility of memory and demonstrates the intentionality required to ensure today's acts can be tomorrow's lessons. For me, as a reader and a writer, I am character-driven. I need to feel attached to the character in order to continue reading or writing. Plot is, of course, important. Something interesting has to happen. But I find that if I don't care about the main character, if I don't care if they're happy or sad or achieve their goals, plot isn't enough to keep me turning pages. That being said, Lantern Weather hooked me as a reader because I immediately felt an emotional connection to the narrator. The author's strong details throughout drew a vivid picture of sights, sounds, and flavors of Little Tokyo. The writing was clear, but also poetic, with lovely metaphors and subtle foreshadowing. This story successfully evoked emotion with humor and heart. Congratulations to this author. Thank you.
No worries, no worries, no worries at all. The winning youth story is Lantern Weather by, moving on ahead, forgive me, because we know that the winning story is Lantern Weather. And actor, producer, and writer Nicole Ohara. Ohara or Ohara? I have not, Ohara the show? Gomen ne? Okay, because Pat Morita had a show. I don't know if you youngsters know. He had a show in the 80s called Ohara, but everybody pronounced it O'Hara. Yeah, so it was like, again, so just checking in, eh? Nicole Ohara will read the winning story, Lantern Weather. Her notable credits include Ashes, Hai Iro no Yuki, Found Family, winner of the Paris Film Festival Best LGBTQ. As a producer for both stage and film, including The Seagull, directed by Bruce Katzman, starring Sasha Alexander at the Odyssey Theater. Orion, or Orion, right? Again, Okinawan, Orion or Orion, and The Dark, Netflix's top 10. All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Oscar nominee for Best Documentary. Gummy Worm, Hollywood Fringe 2022 Best Comedy nominee. Encore Producers Award winner. And she is looking forward to reading this year's winner of the youth category. Quote, Nicole says there is nothing more powerful than storytelling, unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Nicole Ohara!
Wow. I'm going to add a little game into this reading because Allison pointed out some kind of direct quotes from the story. So if you remember anything that Allison said, or there's a part of the story that she included in her speech, I just like you to put your hand over your heart, Take a moment to cherish the memories that she shared. Okay. Lantern Weather by Joelle Chong. Smells were a big part of my experience going to Little Tokyo. The first thing that would hit me would be the smell of yakitori grills at the food stalls, where sweet soy sauce wafted through the air. When the door to Fugetsudo was opened too quickly, the powdered sugar that covered everything inside would spill out into the air, and once I finished eating the last piece of taiyaki, the sweet, toasted smell of it would still fill the air for quite a while. As I'd walk into the Japanese village plaza with my grandma, I breathed in all these smells at once, and think of the neighborhood welcoming us like family, giving us a gentle palm. My grandmother and I sat on the same wooden bench. The slats were worn so smooth from all the bodies waiting and all the swinging legs that there weren't even any bumps for my tiny feet to find their way down to the ground. So I'd kick at the air, trying to hurry time along. My grandmother would sit up straight beside me with her purse tucked under her arm as if it was another vital part of her body she could no longer do without. For a short while, those wrinkled hands, which never stopped moving, rested in her lap. And hanging above us Row upon row of red and white lanterns swayed gently back and forth in the summer breeze, softly inhaling and exhaling, like paper lungs taking slow, deep breaths. Before leaving, she'd always buy one skewer of dango and insisted we share it. The colors of the dango are almost otherworldly in their plastic case, pink, green, white, brighter than the average afternoon. I'd eat too fast, stuffed, and she'd tap her tongue in mock exasperation, while her eyes betrayed her with the smallest bit of amusement. "Slow down," she'd tell me. "Don't need to beat the world." Back then, I believe you survived life by beating the world. One evening, I leaned back against the bench and stared up at the lanterns until my eyes burned. The lanterns brushed against one another in the wind and whispered in a language I didn't understand. I imagined one of the lanterns coming loose and floating into the air. "Ever fall?" I asked. My grandma followed my gaze and seemed at peace. "Only if they're tied poorly," she replied. I thought she was referring to the string. Her shop was in a small storefront off the plaza, near where most tourists went without seeing it. A small silver bell rang loudly every time someone came in, even me coming home from school. Inside, the air smelled of jasmine tea and old wood. The shelves creaked under the weight of ume candy jars, glass bottle ramune, paper fans, and small origami kits that she insisted on carrying because paper has value. In the afternoons, the radio in the back hummed softly. The sunlight streaming through the front window and hitting the glass jars created a miniature lantern effect. Every time the bell rang, my grandma would stand a little taller and smile, as if the person entering her store had done her a favor just by coming in. "Take your time," she'd tell them. Even when there was little to no business and the bell hadn't rung for hours, she would continue to move around the shop as though it depended on her. Wipe the counter, adjust labels, smooth out wrinkles that weren't visible. She looked like a woman made to keep things standing. I never questioned that she wouldn't always be able to. The first indication that something was wrong wasn't the least notice. It was her hands. A slight twitch in the wrist when she reached high for a jar, a brief hesitation mid-motion as though her fingers had forgotten how to get to where she wanted them to go. She quickly tucked both hands into her sleeves as though hiding them would reverse what I had seen. "It's nothing," she'd said casually when I asked. "Just too many folds." Then one afternoon, there was the second sign on the window. For lease. The letters were bold and definite, clean and black on white paper, as if the definiteness could be stuck to glass. Inside, the fluorescent lighting seemed harsher than normal, revealing the empty shelves and the vacant spaces where the familiar items used to be. The radio was off. There were fewer candies in the jars. It was as though someone had been quietly removing bits of our world while we weren't paying attention. My grandma stood behind the counter with her palms flat on the surface. "It's just a shop," she said before I could speak. But her hands were shaking. Not violently, just enough, as though the lanterns were swaying in the wind. On the night before the store officially closed, she locked the door and didn't immediately turn off the lights. Instead, she went into the back and opened a cabinet I had never seen opened before. Behind a stack of flattened boxes and bundles of receipts wrapped in twine was a small paper lantern. It was a pale red color, faded toward pink on one side, and had a slight crease running down its middle. The wire handle had rusted slightly at the curve. She picked it up carefully, as though she needed to show respect. "I hung this outside the store when I first started," she said, smoothing the paper with her thumb. "Your grandfather said it wouldn't change anything." She had a soft smile playing on her lips. "But he still tied it for me." She turned the lantern over in her hands and then handed it to me. "Keep hold of this," she said. "When something is tied to a place, people will remember where that is." Then she gave me a small piece of yellowed paper. When I unfolded it, I could see what I thought was an old receipt. But as I opened it up further, I realized it was her handwriting along the edge. Lantern, bench, dango, share, salve, purse, remember, return. "I tend to forget little details," she said quietly. But I knew she didn't do it so she'd remember. She was writing for me. When I left the shop for the last time, I avoided going to the plaza. I told myself it was silly to grieve at a storefront that is still standing. Absence does not reduce memory. It intensifies it. Eventually, I ended up at the plaza by accident. The plaza was brighter than I remembered. New stores were shining, different music was playing, strangers were walking in the same space where my child had once swung its legs. But the bench was still there, vacant. I got up slowly and put my weight in the gap in the wood, as if it remembered my weight. The air still smelled of sizzling meat and sugar, but it felt hollow somehow, without her next to me. From my bag, I pulled out the lantern and the note. Lantern, bench. My hands were shaking a little as I threaded the wire through the slat and tied it so it would stay. It looked tiny compared to the bigger lanterns hanging above it, the faded paper softer and less shiny. Gradually, the evening fell, and one by one, the lanterns above lit up. Softly, warm light poured down, dulling the storefront signs and washing the pavement in red and white. My grandmother's lantern didn't light on its own, but it remained lit. Light from the other lanterns had reached it, filled it, and warmed the faded paper until it glowed softly, steady, not bright, but certain. I pressed my palm against it, and the paper warmed to the touch, and for a moment it felt like I was holding her hand, thin, trembling, obstinately present. That was when I realized what she was trying to tell me. She wasn't scared of losing the store. She was scared of fading away. Scared no one would know what had stood in that spot. Scared her life would be something people walk past without recognizing. I stayed until the plaza was quiet, until the light seemed solidified in the paper. When I went to visit her later, she studied a photo of the bench on my phone closely. "Still there?" she asked. "Yes, it is," I replied. Her shoulders relaxed, as though something had finally released inside her. She reached for my hand and squeezed it tightly with quiet confidence, as if she was tightening a knot. Outside her window, the sun was setting. Somewhere in Little Tokyo, the lanterns were glowing again. People were eating together, laughing, and experiencing everyday evenings. And on a wooden bench in the plaza, a small, pale red lantern was glowing too. Not because it was strung up, not because it was new, not because it was perfect, but because it was tied. When I look at the lanterns today, I don't wonder anymore if they'll fall. I understand the lesson my grandmother taught me all these years. Things stay because someone comes back and ties them.
Wow. Let's give another round of applause to Nicole, everybody. Ohara. Ohara Janai. Yes. So I think it's about time to have some fun. Another raffle, shall we? Yes. Rowan, my man, come on down. All right, we got a children's book bundle, Unbreakable by Min Tonai. And Monster Maker. Hi, dozo. Hi. Dachi ka? Kore ka?
No, you choose. You choose.
All right, okay. Hi, dozo.
Thank you. Okie dokie. 050612. 050.
Hey, all right.
Yay, congratulations.
It's rigged. No, I'm just kidding. Congrats.
If you are interested in purchasing any of these books, including Kristina Wong's Auntie Kristina's Guide to Asian American Activism and award-winning mystery writer Naomi Hirahara's books, they are all available at Janum's pop-up store in the lobby after the program, and you could get a reminder to all the authors to sign them for you. I was just moved by that story, Joel Chung's lantern, because growing up in Little Tokyo, we used to have lanterns, and it's up to for JANM, JACCCC, East-West Players, Little Tokyo Historical Society, Nisei Week, to try to envision what that was back in the day, because lanterns are emblematic and it's so symbolic of Japanese culture. And two things, this is me advocating, could we get lanterns, because we can't get them across the street, right? Because I think it's a fire department code. But in West Hollywood, we have those wonderful lanterns across Santa Monica Boulevard. And also we have lanterns over on Hillhurst Avenue in Los Feliz. So I'm wondering if we could get Japanese lanterns to go parallel along the street. So me, Iwataki, volunteer extraordinaire, lobby the city to do that, please, so we can have lanterns back here in Little Tokyo, on the streets of Little Tokyo. But also as well, I was wondering, because I think this is a question for the audience as well, do you know if the stories are going to be both published in English and Japanese in Discover Nikkei and in the Rafu Shimpo? Because, for us to try to integrate our languages and to hear, to be lucky to hear Nicole's wonderful reading, but to read that story from Joelle in Nihongo for people who don't have a grasp of English, it's just the idea. So I'm being a noisy wheel. So the Japanese people say they're so quiet and so yasashi. Japanese are really noisy. We like to argue, right? We like to discuss and debate things. But just those two ideas is to try to really revitalize and reinvest in who we are as Japanese Americans here in Little Tokyo. So thank you again very much for listening to my rant. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the acknowledgement portion, followed by the Grand Raffle Prize winner. We'd like to give our shout outs and thank yous to everyone and invite everyone to the after party with the cold someng, if you're a someng person, or cold soba downstairs in the Democracy Center, and chicken karage provided by the wonderful Dantahara of Far East Cafe. We would like to acknowledge the persons who have donated their time, their energy, their heart, their monies. Japanese American National Museum, Yoko Nishimura, Discover Nikkei, Joy Yamaguchi, Elizabeth Morikawa, Vicky Murakami Tsuda, virtual moderation, Mina Otsuka, Japanese to English translation, thank you so very much, Evan Kodani, subtitle production, We'd like to acknowledge these people. Christopher Sean, and Keiichi Nakagawa, Nicole Ohara, Kristina Wong, Eijiro Ozaki, Keiko again, English adult judge, Susan Ginoza Fukushima, English adult judge, Eric Watt, English adult judge, Saiko Higa Dickinson, Japanese language judge, Satsuki Palto, Japanese language judge, Tato Takahama, Japanese language judge, Debbie Michiko Florence, youth judge, Allison Minami, youth judge, and Dan Nishimoto, youth judge. We'd like to acknowledge and thank all these people for their dedication, for their time, and for their love of stories of what we make of ourselves as human beings. At the end of the day, we like to watch the TV, watch a story together. Oh, go in. I did? You want me to speed read through these two? Oh, okay. So Jonathan, all right. Nani? Actually, the committee people of the Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Awards Committee, could you all stand up so we could get all your love? All right. Arigato ne. Thank you for the house lights. Thank you for the house lights up there. Thank you so very much for your time and your volunteerism, because under Mio Iwataki, you know this is, because you do this with love. You do this with love, and I'm just acknowledging all the committee members. They do it with love. They're not being paid. They do it because it really means something. So thank you for your leadership and for all the persons who dedicate, to the love of storytelling. So thank you so very much for being a part of making history as we rediscover history. So thank you. All those people here. No, but we really just like to congratulate and really thank all these wonderful individuals. I wish I could name them all, but you know that Little Tokyo wouldn't survive without the hearts and lives and people, the souls who have lived here. That's why we do Obon, to thank and give thanks to those who have lived here before us and know that we are only temporal beings, but that the stories will live on. So that is the reason why we continue to tell the stories. This is the reason why we echo these stories. This is the reason why we invest in these stories. Thank you so very much for your commitment and for your love of great stories. So thank you so very much again. Now with the grand prize winner. Gomen. Sorry, Rowan. Sumimasen, can you please roll the donors slide? They're the golden donors. Jonathan and Cynthia Tanaka, Angela and Tom Lancaster, Cindy Abrams, Sansei Legacy of Southern California, Nichibei Foundation. Yosh! Silver donors, Paul Goodman, Kathleen Tokudomi, Karen Chu, Janice Hirohama. She is my Obon sister. Mia Iwataki, Janice Kao Agoye, Emiko Mita, Stephen and Patricia Nagano, David Nagano, Francis Nakamura, George Nakano, Michael Okamura, San Fernando Valley Chapter JCL, and Uncle Bill Watanabe. Is that it? Okay, thank you so very much again. And now, Grando Prize. Grando Prize. Hi. Yosh, you choose. You choose.
Hi, okay, I'll pick it and then you call it.
No, you call it. Oh. Gomen ne. What is the grand prize?
All right.
Oh! Holy moly. It's super huge. I wish, right? We're not Oprah. We're not Oprah. It is a customized tour of Little Tokyo for 10 persons, led by a top LTHS guide, LTHS 20th anniversary T-shirt, hot off the printing press today, and Metro freebies. Thank you, LA Metro. All right. So you get to choose, you get to call it.
And you have to bring Tamlyn and I to the tour. It's crazy. It's part of the rules. The winner is 050620. 050620. All right. I can't wait to join you, brother. Yeah. All right. Congratulations, congratulations. A special thank you for our writing contest donors who made this contest and monetary awards a reality.
Yes.
You can be part of this too. Go to littletokyo.org to donate and be part of the Little Tokyo family. Again, thank you for everything. Help LTHS go for another 20 years.
Yes.
Stop by the LTH table and talk to us. Become a member. Be the first to pick up a brand new 20th anniversary t-shirt, hot off the press. And donate, donate, donate. Thank you all, thank you all, thank you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Oh, no, you. We would also like to acknowledge the hard work of the Imagine Little Tokyo core group.
No, gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Because see, this is when we say stop being Japanese. Accept our thanks, accept our praise, and thank you so very much, because we just want to acknowledge making sure co-chairs Naomi Hirahara and Mia Iwataki, and the committee members Brandon Chung, Clyde Fugami, Shige Higashi, Janice Hirohama, Emiko Mita, Yoko Nishimura, Michael Okamura, Nicole Oshima, Eijiro Ozaki, DC Palter. Is that Satsuki's?
Satsuki Palter.
Yeah, Satsuki Palters, okay. Kathy Tokudomi and Uncle Bill Watanabe. Thank you, every single one of you, for joining us today. Happy Obon season and happy Imagine Little Tokyo Short Story Awards. We conclude this program, and let's eat. Itadakimasu!